What is going down, everybody? It's Unbeatable Jacob. I know a lot of you guys are relatively new to the MyTeam game mode. If you guys started playing MyTeam 2K20, 2K21, or even 2K22, you probably don't remember, but once upon a time, position locks were not a thing in the MyTeam game mode. So today, what I'm going to do is go ahead and build what my lineup would be if there was no position locks in the game like there was in 2K19. Now, I do hear a lot of people, even to this day, saying position locks are a bad thing for the game. I disagree entirely, and I'm thinking probably the lineup I'm going to make in this video will probably make you agree as well, because it's just way too AIDS what you would be able to do in this game without position locks. So without further ado, I'm going to build my best lineup considering that there's no position locks. At point guard, this might catch you guys out of left field. I'm not going to throw Yao Ming at point guard or do anything silly like that. I'm going to put the card that I have found the most success with overall all year, really, and that's Cedric Maxwell. There's a lot of options I could put here at point guard. I could try and, go for the super cheesiness and, put Giannis at the one, or, somebody like Sean Kemp, or maybe Karl Malone at the one, or, anything like that. But I'm not going to do that. It just, wouldn't be my play style anyways to have a card like that at the one. But Cedric Maxwell is 6'8". He'd definitely be able to hold it down and play that point guard position very well given the opportunity. Now at the two, I'm going to need somebody else who can kind of handle the ball a little bit. But since there's not position locks, I'm really not restricted to what I can put there. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in Bob Nedelicki. Bob is able to create his own shot very well with that set shot 25. He'd be able to sit hash very well. He'd be able to run the two-man very well. I mean, just know if this Bob Nedelicki card can play shooting guard, it could get pretty dangerous. Even him at the 4 is pretty ridiculous in this game right now. So him playing shooting guard next to Cedric Maxwell, that's just the backcourt of death. And now for the 3, I'm going to go ahead and throw in somebody who you might not expect, and that's going to be Christosynchus. Of course, this card is locked into playing only center. Without position locks, we're going to pretend like that doesn't matter. Throw him at the 3. I think he'd be able just to cause a lot of lineup matchup issues with his height. What is he, 7'2", 7'3", or something like that? He's got a good enough jump shot with that Brook Lopez base, so chuck him at the 3. We got enough dudes to handle the ball with Cedric and Bob Nedelicki both having quick dribble style. So he'll be able to hold it down there and just cause a lot of mismatch problems and hit his shots. And now at the 4, another card that is locked in to just the center position. That's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And he'll be able to hold it down at the 4. I think a lot of people do wish that this card could play the power forward in the game currently. Of course he can't. But if he was able to play there, it'd just be even more ridiculous. I mean, he's already one of the best centers in the game. If you were to throw him at the 4 with Kristaps at the 3, and then go ahead and put Yao Ming at the 5, you are looking at a pretty ridiculous lineup. I mean, the average height out of all these dudes is like 7'1", probably, if I was guessing off the top of my head. Possibly even taller, maybe 7'2", not really sure, but either way, I mean, just this starting lineup alone is looking pretty ridiculous. And now coming off the bench, I'm going to go ahead and chuck in a point guard that can actually play point guard, and that's Ben Simmons. I mean, the dude's 6'11". Don't fix something that's not broke. I mean, I could try and get kind of crazy or ridiculous here and throw in Karl Malone. That was a thought. But I'm just going to stick with Ben Simmons. I think that he's good enough to hold it down. And I'm going to put in a card that can play the 2 as well at the 2, and that's Michael Jordan. Because somebody's going to need to handle the ball. The other option that I would do here is put in Karl Malone at the 1 or 2. But I just didn't find it necessary. I think that between these two cards, I think you're going to be able to get it done, even in a hypothetical universe where there's no position locks in MyTeam. But that is pretty much where we stop the whole entire normal cards at their position thing for the bench, because I'm going to go ahead and throw in Jermaine O'Neal at the 3. Now, Jermaine O'Neal is actually ridiculously good at handling the ball. He's got quick dribble style, Kobe escape, and a bunch of Hoff playmaking badges. So him playing a little bit higher, be more opportunities for him at the wing, more opportunities for him at the hash, more opportunities for him to create. I think he'd do very well there. I really do. I think he's 6'11", so definitely plenty of size at the 3, even in this hypothetical universe without position lock. So I had to throw in my man Jermaine O'Neal. At the 4, we got a card that is locked to center, and that is Artis Gilmore. Just like Kareem, I think that they'll probably get phased out of lineups quicker than they probably would if they did have that power forward eligibility. With cards like Yao Ming dropping, you're going to see a lot of people taking Artis out of their lineup. You're going to see a lot of people taking Kareem out of their lineup, where if they did have that power forward eligibility, they'd probably be sliding them down a spot. In our hypothetical universe here, there's no position locks, so we're going to put Artis Gilmore at the 4. With that type of size at that position, it's just going to be super cheesy. And for our last card, nothing too crazy here. We're just chucking in Dikembe Mutombo. I think he rounds out this bench 5 better than any other center I could think of, considering that all the other centers in the game that I consider to be better than Dikembe are already in the lineup. That's Kareem, Kristaps, and Yao Ming. So we needed a center off the bench, and I wouldn't really know who else to put in there at this point in time. So Dikembe can hold it down. This right here would be my lineup if there was no position locks. The game's already in a questionable spot, as is. You see this lineup. Can't tell me that the game would be any better. It would definitely be more cheesy. I think a lot of people get skill mixed up with cheese nowadays. I feel like I'm seeing that trend more this year than ever. This is cheesy. This is what cheesy looks like right here. This is definitely cheesy. Just Kristaps at the 3, Jermaine O'Neal at the 3, Bob Nedelicki at the 2, Kareem at the 4. I mean, need I say more? This is pretty nuts. So let me know what you guys would be running if there was no position locks in the comments below. How would you rearrange your team if there was no position locks at all? I didn't want to put Dirk in here. I still have never used him, never played against him. I honestly didn't even really watch any gameplays of any of the people who got him, so didn't want to speak on him. But I'm sure if I was like actually trying to make the world's best positionless 2K lineup or something, Dirk probably would find his way in here. I guess if you want, you know, take out Dikembe and put in Dirk if that makes you feel a bit better. But yeah, just let me know what you guys would do. Thought it was a pretty cool idea to kind of revisit, because this is how we used to play MyTeam back in the day. Totally different nowadays. Anyways, appreciate you guys watching. Be back real soon.